Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me, and welcome to a brand new day in your life. Hope you're doing great. Off to a great start this morning. It's really, for me, the biggest gift in the world to actually wake up and feel healthy and happy and hope that you do the same. But I know that there's so many people out there watching us right now. There's thousands of you who are having challenges in their lives and just need a hug. And I just want to give you a big hug right now. I really honestly want you to know that you've got at least, 1,000+ people in the world by your side right now watching this video and, caring about you, even if they don't know you personally. So always feel free to leave your comments in the section below. There's someone there that's going to say hi, or if you've got something on your mind, feel free to share it. It's really what we're here for. So anyway, happy day. Hope you're off to a good start, and that being part of our 60 and Me community is giving you, something to hold on to and to celebrate. We are special. We are very unique. So I've got my cup of tea this morning. I'm drinking matcha, which I picked up when I was in the UK at Marks and Spencer's. All you UK women are so lucky. I love Marks and Spencer's. Well, every time I go to the UK, I stock up on tea and whatever other goodies they have there. But it's a unique store. I mean, for those of you who don't know Marks and Spencer's, I'm sure you've got them other shops in your world. But they're started off as a clothing store and got a little bit lost with fashion. They really haven't done so well, I think, with fashion. But they've started a food store a few years ago now, and the food they serve is made. It's like kind of made food, so you can take it home and cook it yourself. And they have fresh vegetables and fruits and teas. It's a really great little place. Anyway, I've got matcha tea this morning. I actually filled it up too full. So anyway, I hope you've got a cup of tea or coffee, and I'm going to enjoy my matcha tea in a minute. So just want you to make sure that you've got a tea, coffee, and settle back and relax. I want to talk to you today about something that I know is on the mind of a lot of you. It's on my mind. And so I thought I'd take a minute to kind of share a discussion about, our favorite topic, money. Don't go away. Come back. I promise you it's going to be positive. But I want to share a little bit about my own story, because I think it's always useful. You don't know me very well. I mean, you've maybe watched my videos every day, but you don't know much about my life. And I don't, in a way, think it's all that important. But I think that knowing that I've been through some of the things you have gone through might help in this conversation about something that we're all trying in our 60s and 70s to deal with. So I was born in London. My parents didn't have very much money at all. We immigrated to Canada when I was 8, and we lived in a tiny little house with, like no refrigerator. And I mean, I could go on listing the qualities of my house, but, my mom used to hide the biscuits because we only could have a few biscuits now and again. And it was by no means it wasn't a challenging life for me as a child, because I was surrounded by love, and I really did feel that I was in a good place. The money was never a question, because we just didn't put it into our lives. I mean, I didn't have many toys. I had the outdoors. I went to play in the woods around our house and learned how to swim, and a bit of a tomboy. But we didn't have a lot. So when I, grew up and made my way on my own, I lost my mom when I was 19. And so I was on my own, making my own living at 19 and going to school, trying to make it through college and work at the same time. So, for all of you women that have done this, that you started off with little, you found your way, you found a vocation. I did that too. I did that too. And I got to the point where I was in a situation where I had a little place to live. I bought myself a car. I just, like you, built myself up. Then I had my family, and of course I had two sons. I have two sons, and I, tried very hard, unconsciously, to give them all those things I didn't have when I was a child. Sound familiar? Very, very common thing for women to do, and men too. But when you don't have a lot yourself, you want your child to have a better life. You don't want to move them around like I moved when I was young. You want them to have toys. You want them to have things that that they have a passion for. If they say they want to do something, you just immediately want to give it to them. And so, we went through many, many years in our life as a family doing just that. And, just filling our lives with things and visits and trips and travel. And, I won't go into too much detail, but I think that's the uber point, is that when you're in a relationship that enables it, you can actually give your children everything that you didn't have. And then, of course, I'm on the same planet as you. I'm on the same timeline. And 2008 hit me personally very hard too. I lost a lot of money in my home. I sold my house, and like many of you, from that point forward, it's been kind of catching up. Now, my work, of course, was very important to me. I worked at Microsoft for years, and when I decided to leave and start 60andMe, then it was a different world of an entrepreneur. And, even though I think we're doing very well with our community, and I think I'm personally feeling I am giving a lot back, it's starting a business is a challenge, and we are on the journey. We're on the journey to make it something that I can, stay with for the rest of my life. And with your support, we're staying stable and we're getting there. As you know, with 60andMe, we do sell a couple of products. We have our yoga videos. And really, that's about it right now. We have a fashion video series and a beauty series, but we feel like we want to offer things for you that you want and that you need in your life. So that's me. That's my background. That's 60andMe. So the bottom line here that I'm trying to get to is I'm just like you. I've been through just the same things, and I'm on the same path right now. And when I had an opportunity to talk to Allan Roth, he's a fiduciary financial advisor. I'm going to do some interviews with another person, Pam Kruger, on financial services soon, and we're going to talk about the difference between fiduciaries and financial advisors, and some practical things that you can do with money in your 60s. Excuse me, but he was a fiduciary and a very, very wise man. And we did a couple of interviews. In fact, I think we did 3. And we talked about money. And now I'm going to share with you what advice he gave to our community. And I was listening. He was giving it to me too. So I was paying attention and learned a lot. It's not all, wave a magic wand and it will all get better. So what I'm going to talk about next, if you're looking for me to say, just go to this website and you'll be a millionaire tomorrow, it's not going to happen, because that isn't the real world. What is the real world is that you're strong. You are a strong woman. You can deal with this, and together, you, like with all the other women in our community who are not financially secure or feeling just on that borderline, that there are things you can do. So Allan was very practical about it. And, in some ways I was like you. I kept waiting for him to say, oh, you just have to do this. But he just went through the 5 things that we will have to do. And this is this is hard. So first thing, take a hard, honest look at how much you need to live. I mean, your cost of living, what you need to live that basic life, and what you feel that you need to spend. So in other words, just be honest with yourself about what is your standard of living. How much do you need to spend? And how much have you got saved? Just get a kind of a foundation of where you are. I'm going to talk about this in a bit more detail, but that's the first thing. And once you know what you've got coming in terms of income and what you need to spend going out, then you know how to live just a little bit below that, so that you can save a bit for emergencies, for travel, for those things you really want to do. So that's important. Know what you spend and what you save. The second thing he asks us to consider is delaying your Social Security payments. Now, I know there's a lot of upheaval about pension age, and in the United Kingdom in particularly, I know there's a lot of unhappy women because the pension age has been raised. But the truth is, if you're in the United States, you've got Social Security almost certainly to look forward to, but the longer you wait, the better it is. Now, we've done some articles on this, and you can certainly look at them on 60andMe. But if you wait until you're 70, it's a significant percentage more that you get than if you took it out at I think 65 is the first time you can take it out. So that's a very important thing that Allan asks us to consider. What's your situation with Social Security if you're in the States, or with your pension if you're in other parts of the world? And, if you can wait, do it, because that's going to help you financially. He talks about investing in deferred annuities and having a diversified portfolio. Now, this is all very well if you have a little bit of extra money to pay an insurance company for an annuity, or if you've got money in the stocks, or you've got some spare money to invest. But there are some strategies, and I know a lot of our women do have some savings, but they want to save for the long term. Now, just an interesting fact I was reading yesterday, which is really eye-opening, is that you say to yourself, well, how much do I need to retire? And people say, oh, I think I need $1 million, $1 million of savings. Now, of course, how unrealistic is that? But, truthfully, a lot of people do say this. I have it in my IRA or in other sources, and I need about $1 million to retire. If you work that out on an annual basis, you're only going to be actually able to spend about, I think it's about 35 or 40,000 of that amount. And that equals about 3,500 or so a month. Now, if you are used to living a lifestyle that you've been able to save $1 million in your IRA and other places, that's maybe not going to be a lot for you if you've got a mortgage or you have other expenses. So it's just something to keep it in balance. And I'm going to be talking to Pam about these things as well. So we can, you can get a bit more information, but that's one thing that Allan asked us to think about too. Another thing, and I go back to this one all the time, and that is about starting your own business. Now, work part-time is a possibility, or start your own business. And if you can earn $1,000 a month in a part-time job, $250 a week or something like that, that can make all the difference in the lifestyle that you have. So thinking about working part-time, or working for yourself, doing some business. We've actually wrote an article a year ago now, I think 60 ways to make money in retirement. And you should check it out. Just search on it on 60andme.com. And there's everything from dog walking to house sitting to making crafts to, being an extra in a movie, writing, freelance, all kinds of freelance work, graphic design, tons of things you may have talent in, but just not think you can make money with it. And the beauty is that with the internet now, we have so much opportunity. So it's just something to think about. And that's Allan's fourth suggestion. The next thing he asks us to think about is pretty straightforward, and that is make sure you can afford your passions. I know it doesn't seem fair, does it? Like you may feel so, I don't know what's the word, but you might feel really frustrated that you've worked all these years, you always wanted to travel the world, but there you are in your 60s with no money to travel the world. That's your passion. It's all you want to do. But it's just you need money. So, I know these things are very, very tricky. But, anyway, I think Allan is saying, you've got to face your financial future with real eyes wide open and with a strength of character and courage, because you may just not be able to do some of the things you always wanted to do unless you do some of those things we talked about: holding back on Social Security, getting a part-time job, starting your own business. These may not be appealing to you, but nevertheless, that's how the world is. So, that was Allan's advice, and it kind of was like, is that it? There's nowhere I can go and have $5 million tomorrow? It just doesn't work that way. Well, we all know that. I'm not being funny at all. So, in closure, he says, here's some things that you can do to change your financial future or get ready for it. Retirement doesn't have to be scary. Just need to adjust, accumulate less, and focus on experience more. Don't put your happiness around stuff, because money is needed to buy stuff. And if that's your measurement of happiness, it will be disappointing. Be more content with what you've got. Maturity comes with age, and, contentment comes with maturity. So we have to kind of find this way to incorporate that into our lives. So there's a little list here of things that you can do. Research prices. Always take a look and see whether you can get something at a lower price. Now when you go shopping, there's just about every shop has its own brand, like it has its own white labeled brand of whatever. And you'll often find that they're less expensive. Now, if you really want to buy brand items, then it will cost a little more. But search prices. Shop for deals. Don't be embarrassed to ask, can you give me a discount on that? Or that's not in my budget. Can you come down a little bit on that? Shop for deals and just be honest. Who cares what they think of you? Or they think, oh, she's not got any money. Well, they haven't either, probably. So it's all a matter of perspective. Leverage the share economy. If you've got a lawnmower and your neighbor doesn't, say, hey, do you want to borrow my lawnmower? Or, hey, pay for the petrol, give me $5 and you can borrow it for the day. Just the share economy is where you work together, to get all the things you want, but don't have everybody having to buy a lawnmower or have everyone to buy, a tool that you might need in your garden. Or you could even get more refined if you have a computer, for example, that only you can afford, share it with a neighbor who doesn't. Let them check their mail or come over together and surf online. Another thing is to live below your means. We talked about this before. Super important is that if you only are bringing in $2,000 a month, don't be on a regular basis spending $2,500 or even $2,100. You don't have that 100. So live below your means, and then again, be happy with that. Another thing is, I said, to appreciate the small things. And every day I now think about this when I go for walks. I'm not paying for walking in the park. I guess I do pay my taxes, but I don't, you can appreciate the things that have no value. You don't have to buy them. You can just experience them. So that's a very important perspective, I think. And then read a good book. He suggests one called Can I Retire by a guy called Mike Piper. And I think that's one you might want to consider. So anyway, I hope this has been helpful, everyone. I know it's been a long session here. I wanted to really talk about this one in detail, though, because it's so important. If you've got comments, leave in the section below and really answer the question, are you prepared financially for your transition to retirement? Look forward to reading your comments and to joining the conversation for sure on this one. And I really will see you all again very, very soon. Bye-bye for now.